Welcome back to the channel with another commentary round. In my preparation for CJI, here I hit an elbow pass straight into a takedown against my teammate Gage. Gage is another bigger opponent that I love to go against, especially preparing for these absolute brackets. So I'm settling in on a body lock style pass, end up kind of forcing his legs away from me so I can pass around the backside and look to get back exposure. So from here, I'm going to look to get a seatbelt or a gift wrap control would be ideal. So I'm gonna look for that wrist. I'm trying to get the gift wrap, but he was doing a good job hand fighting there. So I'm gonna settle with just the seatbelt for now. And then I wedge my foot to the inside and he turned into me really hard. So that's why the gift wrap is good, because it stops him from turning into you. So I had to switch off to looking for a head and arm triangle choke here. Was able to work into the mount and start getting some pressure going. Now, a lot of adjustments need to be made because his shoulder's kind of out of position. So I look to grab his wrist since he's answering the phone, and I start to pull, and I actually get an elbow style shoulder lock here, similar to an Americana. And he actually made a joke. He was like, "Oh, wow, you picked up the phone," because that's kind of we call that the telephone defense, where you put your hand on your ear. I don't really feel like it's a super valid defense for reasons that you just saw, but also I don't think it completely stops the choke. But since the shoulder was out, I decided to go for that counter. So here we're back standing, and I'm looking to feint the inside, another elbow tap, feint towards his leg, and he kind of slipped, but also tried to sprawl out of that, and it kind of faked him out a little bit. I was able to get a head and arm throw here off of that underhook, and then now start settling into my knee cut pass. So from here, I'm going to maintain a strong crossface. I'm going to look to get my fingers in his armpit if possible and start using my head to isolate his arm above his head to again work into that head and arm style position. So from here, you might be able to tell, but it's kind of a hard angle to see, but my hand now is gripping on the inside of his armpit, my hand that's on the cross-facing arm, and I'm going to start driving heavy shoulder pressure into the side of his face. This is going to put a lot of pressure on him and cause him to kind of push away with his frames and overextend, but I ended up changing things up. I was not really wanting just to pressure him this whole round and make it boring for you guys, so I decided to kind of force the north-south. He scrambled out as I attacked his arm, and then now I'm looking to get into a leg entry. So I got on his leg, but he cleared his knee line, and then we're back up, scrambling again. It's a little slippery tonight. You can tell the mats are kind of glossed over. This was pretty deep in the training session. I got a collar tie, an outside tie, pummeled from my underhook and hit my throw by here. I'm looking to kind of pull his hands down to the mat so I can start to throw my hooks in. It's hard to jump on their back if their hands are not on the floor yet, because they can shake you off a lot easier, and also you just have a higher way to climb. So if you can break their hands down to the mat, you can have an easier time jumping and getting your hooks in. So I'm kind of falling off the top here, but since I had a good grip on his upper body, I was able to roll him through and then get my hooks in. Now I'm going to lock up that body triangle. Body triangle is pretty brutal. He actually tapped from the body triangle. He said he had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before this round, which is not a good idea. I've definitely been there before and eaten something like that before training and felt it kind of coming up, especially when people put in body triangles. So apologies on that, Gage, but we are getting back to it. If you guys enjoyed this round, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot and helps support me as an athlete. So here we are again, pummeling from the feet, looking for inside position. I'm trying to get back to my underhooks. That way I can use maybe foot sweeps or anything to get his head down low. I've been working a lot of front headlock lately. It's one of my favorite attacks. Using it, get him down to the ground and chase the back, similar to what I did against Elder Cruz, forcing that front headlock and then running to the back is something that I have found a lot of success with lately and get to continue to use. I was able to roll him all the way through to get my bottom and top side hook in, get the rear naked choke set in place, and that one was a little bit over his jaw, but just so you guys know, anything below the eyebrows counts. So I think you can pretty much get a choke, and I mean blood choke, not just face crank, even if you're over their jaw if you do things correctly. So don't worry about if it's not under their chin. Still can be a great submission. Here I hit a kind of like a sweep single and got a good takedown, kind of leading to a body lock. And then now here I'm settling with almost a body lock pass, almost a knee slice pass, kind of a little bit of a tripod variation, and I'm able to cut through and land in the side control. Now, I'm framing his neck here because I don't yet have the underhook, and I don't want him turning on his side like he is doing now. So now I'm going to use that crossface to wing him back down to the mat. And I was trying to keep his head down to the floor to keep him from turning, but now that we're here and I got head and arm control, things are smooth sailing, and I'm able to kind of work that arm across and above his head, and I'm gonna change to the gift wrap now. I already got one arm triangle in this round, so we're gonna take a different approach. I get the gift wrap, and I take his back, and then I get the choke there. I think he tapped again to the body triangle. Feel bad for him with that PB&J coming up, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Continuing on with the round, I decided to play off my butt. Now, I don't play off my guard much anymore. I try to always scramble back up to my feet, but since he was fatigued and we'd already done a lot of takedowns in the round, I felt it was okay to play off my back. I got both of his legs gathered together, kind of baiting that front headlock. Since I had his knees gathered, there's gonna be really hard, or really no chance of him submitting me with the front headlock unless he can wrap me up with those legs. So I was able to use that to pass the guard, work to the mount, get the back tick again with that cross armpit grip, and then start locking in that body triangle. I actually told him, and we kind of laughed there for a second, that I'm not going to squeeze because I don't want him to throw up on me. But then I was able to lock up the rear naked choke, and again, I think I got it over his jaw that time. But just like I said, anything below the eyebrows can be a legit choke. You just got to do all the details correctly, making sure that you're keeping everything nice and tight. Here I got an arm drag, and I was able to work up to his arm and isolated his arm with an overhook to get a finish on that. Kind of a quick sub, you couldn't really see from that angle, but it was off of that arm drag, working my legs up and getting that arm bar. Here I am entering into the legs. I'm working into kind of like this waiter style sweep that I love to play. Was able to almost wrestle up, but my leg was still caught on the inside, so I decided to switch off to his other leg, and didn't have much success there because his knee line was kind of further away from me than I wanted it to be. So I decided to come back up and then work again for this body lock folding style pass. I was able to transition all the way to the upper part of his upper body there, and get all the way behind him before the round ended. So thank you guys for watching, and if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to takedjujitsu.com. It's my new website that I'm going to be posting articles on, instructional content, and you can even get your free competition guide just by entering your email. I know you guys will enjoy it, so just go ahead and head over to takedjujitsu.com. It helps support me and the channel, and thank you as always for watching.